Hello and welcome back to the Warehouse Whiteboard. This is JJ with you once again, coming at you live on location. Well, maybe not live, but at least on location today at the Winnebago County Courthouse. That's right, the seat of authority in our county, and that's why I'm here today, is because we have been talking in our student ministry about the concept of authority. God as the ultimate authority in our lives, and what does that mean, and how do we even live with that? And so we decided to come to a place like this where we think about things like freedom and like rules, because inside this building we go through all sorts of different things to get our driver's licenses, our tabs for our canoes and whatnot. And there's also a jail inside this building, and so that's one of those things that kind of freaks us out when we think about rules and staying within those rules. But we ask the question, what does this have to do with us on a daily basis? Does God value these kind of things? Is that the nature of the authority of God? So what we did to discuss that was we went back to Genesis, to the very beginning, where God laid out the whole picture for things. And we asked the question, in light of what the Genesis account tells us, does God value freedom or does God value rules? And we put that question out there. And as we discussed it with the students, we came to the conclusion that the answer is both. God values both freedom and rules. And God values a blessed freedom that He provides for us within those rules. Rules that are designed to keep us on track with Him, to keep us holy, to keep us safe, to do all sorts of different things. Those are the kind of rules and freedom ideas that we were able to pull from Genesis, which then moved us into the second part of our conversation that we continued from last time, because last time we talked about the Shema, the Hear, O Israel prayer back in Deuteronomy. And then this time we looked at basically the New Testament equivalent of that greatest commandment, and those are found in all three of the Synoptic Gospels, where Jesus tells people, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And that all the law and the prophets hang on those two ideas. And so we compared the Old Testament to the New Testament, and we thought about what does this, the central question was, what do these passages tell us about the character of God? Kind of combining that with our comments on Genesis being both freedom and rules. And what it told us that God values as we looked at these passages, especially these New Testament passages, God values love and God values priorities. Those two things are what those passages outline for us. That God approaches everything out of the lens of love, and that He wants us to have properly aligned priorities where we love Him first, and our love for Him grows and overflows into loving other people. And so that's how we combine the Shema within the greatest commandments from the New Testament. And so then we asked another question, what does this teach us about God as an authority? What kind of character does God have as He is the authority? Is it a character like the sort of punitive and prison-like things that we see maybe inside of a courthouse and the legal proceedings that go on there? We came to the conclusion that it's a little bit different. God is not an authority that lives to squash us with consequences. God is an authority that is there to release us in holiness, to set clear parameters for us, to give us sort of the guidelines to live within, but incredible freedom within those guidelines to praise Him, to love Him, and to offer that love to other people. So that is sort of the tracking of our conversation on God's ultimate authority. And we've got one more week that we'll spend on that, but that's a little bit about what's happening with our students as we've contemplated the picture of God from the authority as all the way back in Genesis, through the passages in Deuteronomy that were central to the Jews at that time, the Shema, all the way to the greatest commandment in the New Testament, and then what that means for us today as we consider God as the ultimate authority in our lives. So thank you for tuning in. Glad you could join me for the whiteboard today, and we will see you next time.